What if one simple no cost you fame, fortune, and a place in Hollywood history? That's exactly what happened to these actors who turned down roles that went on to become legendary. Some passed because of busy schedules, others didn't see the potential, but all ended up regretting it. From career-defining characters to unforgettable performances, these missed opportunities left stars wondering what if. Join us as we uncover the surprising stories behind these decisions and the stars who wish they'd said yes. Michael Keaton in Groundhog Day.
He just didn't get the script until it was too late. Michael Keaton was offered Groundhog Day, the role that would become a career-defining hit for Bill Murray, but Keaton read the script and passed.
Imagine having to regret passing on a movie role almost immediately. This was what happened to Michael Keaton, who himself spoke about a role he was supposed to take on in the movie Groundhog Day, but never did after reading the script. He revealed that he simply didn't get the role, which led to him turning it down. However, the movie, which later went on to be a hit, featured Bill Murray in his place. Keaton later admitted that the hit movie was pretty much synonymous with Bill Murray, who he believed acted perfectly in his place. He added that it would be very tricky to picture anyone else playing the role. This next actor missed out on the opportunity to feature in a major breakout movie. Madonna in The Matrix.
Have you said no to anything that you wish you had said yes to, and what was that thing?
Oh, that's a good one.
Question. Yeah, I was given the script to The Matrix. I was offered the role of Trinity. Yeah, and
You're kidding.
I read the script and I'm like, this is the stupidest I've ever read in my life. I turned it down.
What if the stars you watched in your favorite movies were not the original actors billed to feature in that particular movie? In The Matrix, a movie that is now regarded as one of the most iconic movies of modern times, was originally billed to feature the legendary singer Madonna, but never happened. Speaking about the few regrets she has about her career, Madonna singled out rejecting the opportunity to be in The Matrix as one of them. She revealed that she could not believe that she missed the opportunity to feature in one of the best movies ever made, adding that a part of her regrets that one moment in her life. Halle Berry in Speed.
She passed on the role that launched Sandra Bullock's career. Before Sandra Bullock became a household name, the role in Speed was first offered to Halle Berry, but at the time, she wasn't impressed. In her own—
We all make misjudgments sometimes, but it's pretty hard when we make decisions that rob us of stardom. In the popular movie Speed, before Sandra Bullock was cast in the part that eventually propelled her to stardom, it was actually offered to Halle. And speaking about getting the offer, Halle admitted she stupidly said no, adding that she judged the movie based on what she read in the script. However, she admitted to feeling a pang of regret after seeing the final project. Winkler in Grease.
Directed me at home in the scenes before I went to meet him.
Oh, does it mean?
But the pain of auditioning,
Yeah.
it is very difficult. It doesn't get easier.
No, that was my next question.
No.
It doesn't?
No.
Do you still get nervous?
I get very nervous. I get very nervous. But what you have to do, if you're going to be successful at
What became one of the most successful musicals ever made could have looked a whole lot different. In Grease, Henry was offered the part of Danny, which of course went on to be played by John Travolta, but turned it down. His reasoning? He said he didn't want to be typecast or play the same sort of character again. It would be recalled that before Grease, Henry was famous for playing the Fonz, but when the role of Danny came up, he was said not to fancy playing a similar character again. Speaking in an interview, he said he realized he was simply unwise for turning down the opportunity as the movie went on to become a success. But if you think you have seen it all, this next actor's reason for passing on a role will shock you. Denzel Washington in C7N.
Listen to which movie Denzel Washington regrets turning down.
I turned down 7. They want.
Who was interviewing him?
Jamie Foxx.
Oh. Yeah, he's gonna regret that reaction.
I turned down 7. They wanted me to play the Brad Pitt part, yeah. I thought the script was too demonic.
Right.
Then I saw the movie, I was like, oh, I blew it.
There are multiple reasons why an actor may turn down a role, and Denzel, who's read his fair share of scripts, said that the writing wasn't one of them. However, in C7EN, when the movie was being cast, Denzel had the opportunity to play the part that would eventually go to Brad Pitt, but rather chose to underrate the director. Denzel, who acknowledged that the movie script was one of the best he'd read in a while, reportedly had reservations about Michael Clayton, who happened to be a first-time director at that time. He later admitted it was a mistake, adding that he was nervous about a first-time director, but was proven wrong. Matt Damon in Avatar.
Painful black hole inside of yourself that turned down Avatar.
Turned down Jim Cameron. I turned down Jim Cameron. What an idiot.
If Matt regretted starring in The Bourne Ultimatum, the success of Avatar must have rubbed a lot of salt in the wounds. According to Matt, he had to turn down the lead role in the box office sensation in order to star in the Bourne movie. But little did he know that the price of not starring in the movie was more than just being a part of the franchise. Matt later revealed that he was offered 10% of the box office, which would have landed him around $270 million, but he never accepted it. And while he recognized that he's earned a lot of money in his career, which would not allow him to complain, he admitted that passing on Avatar stings. Christopher Plummer Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings series.
I don't know why I turned it down. I mean, I thought maybe three or 4 years in New Zealand. I thought there are other countries I'd also like to visit before I croak.
It's a big, it's a big commitment to go, but still, it's such a great.
It's quite understandable that actors cannot always act in every movie, but there are some movies and roles that shouldn't be missed. This was the case of Christopher Plummer, an undisputed icon of cinema, who passed on the chance of starring as Gandalf in the popular film Lord of the Rings from 2001 to 2003. In a movie that eventually saw Ian McKellen, who played the role of Gandalf, nominated for an Oscar, Plummer admitted that tears him up the most. In a reflection on his career, Plummer admitted that despite his love for J.R.R. Tolkien's books, the 13-month shoot was simply too long a commitment at the time. While he waxed lyrical about McKellen's performance and highlighted the warmth and charm the actor brought to the part, Plummer still regretted passing up the role. Burt Reynolds' Han Solo in Star Wars.
Burt Reynolds is, in many ways, one of the most successful actors in Hollywood history. His massive influence is acknowledged by an impressive filmography, for which he was honored with
starring roles in iconic films like Deliverance, Smokey, and The Bandit, Burt Reynolds is one of the major icons of the 1970s. However, he could have been an even more significant figure of the decade had he not passed up the part of Han Solo in the Star Wars movies. Speaking with Business Insider in 2016, Reynolds said that he just didn't want to play that kind of role at the time. An understandable position considering Star Wars was regarded as something of a financial risk in production. Reynolds went on to express regret over the call, reflecting on how much she had missed out. Of course, Star Wars became a record-breaking success, and Harrison Ford, who eventually took up the role, became an instant phenomenon as Solo. To add further insult, Reynolds has also spoken to The Guardian about how he regrets passing on the chance to succeed Sean Connery as James Bond. Christina Applegate Elle Woods in Legally Blonde.
Kind of repeating myself. Wasn't it? What a stupid move that was, right?
Basically, after playing Kelly Bundy on Married with Children, Christina didn't want to take on another ditzy blonde role.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde? It's okay. You know what? Reese deserved that, and she did a much better job than I ever could, and so that's her life. That's her path.
And that's why you should vote for me, Elle Woods, future lawyer for the class of 2004.
Despite having enjoyed a stellar career as an accomplished comic, Christina Applegate could possibly have been an even bigger star had she accepted the iconic part of Elle Woods in the beloved feminist comedy Legally Blonde. The film followed a seemingly ditzy sorority queen who enrolls in law school to pursue her ex-boyfriend, only to discover just how much she is capable of. Having concluded her work on the TV sitcom Married with Children just 4 years prior, Applegate felt as though the role of Woods was far too similar to that of the teenage daughter she had portrayed for the better part of a decade. She joked in an interview with Vanity Fair by calling it a big mistake. She spoke about turning down Legally Blonde when asked about roles she wished she hadn't rejected. Despite this, Applegate commented that Reese Witherspoon was perfect for Elle Woods, and the character may not have been as iconic without her. This next popular actor played Ignorance, and it backfired. Will Smith Neo in The Matrix.
I don't know if it's out of regret that you didn't pick the role and lost out on billions of dollars.
That was a hurt piece. That was a hurt piece.
That was a hurt piece, right?
I didn't get it. When they pitched me The Matrix. I didn't get it.
You didn't
Another case of what could have been involving The Matrix, Will Smith was among the first choices to play Neo, the role made famous by Keanu Reeves. The mind-bending sci-fi follows Neo, a prophesied hero, as he learns the reality humanity inhabits is just a simulation, and humans are actually being used as a fuel source by a race of intelligent machines. According to reports, Smith couldn't grasp the premise or how it would translate to the screen, leading him to ultimately pass on the role and work on Wild Wild West instead, a steampunk western that failed abysmally. As reported by Far Out magazine, Smith said that if he could go back in time, he would advise his younger self not to do Wild Wild West, but Neo. He also suggested to LAD Bible that he may not have been mature enough at the time to excel in the role the way that Reeves did. Josh Hartnett, Bruce Wayne in Batman.
Number 8. Josh Hartnett, Batman Begins. The number of actors who turned down superheroes could fill a phone book. Josh Hartnett is one of the more well-known.
How do you explain Nollywood actors whose careers were threatened because they innocently passed on a role? This was exactly Josh Hartnett's case. Through the early part of the 2000s, there were few young actors as exciting as Josh Hartnett. This popularity was believed to have put him in the box seat to star in Christopher Nolan's now revered The Dark Knight trilogy, with him being one of the main actors pursued to feature as Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins. However, Hartnett was wary of being pigeonholed and decided to spend some time away from Hollywood, leading him to decline the offer. Speaking with The Guardian in 2015, Hartnett conceded that the decision was a mistake, one that did have an impact on the prospects of his career, inferring that turning down certain people made him less likely to be hired going forward. Thankfully, he did get the opportunity to work with Nolan many years later with a supporting part in the Oscar-winning 2023 biopic Oppenheimer. Leonardo DiCaprio in Boogie Nights.
In a 2008 interview for GQ, Leonardo DiCaprio was asked which role he regretted turning down. His answer was, quote, "Boogie Nights is a movie I loved and I wish I would have done," end quote.
In 2008, DiCaprio confirmed that he turned down the starring role in Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights, which ultimately made Mark Wahlberg a star, in order to do Titanic instead. According to reports, DiCaprio had initially held a meeting about the role with Anderson, but got spooked by the filmmaker's relative lack of experience at the time. Boogie Nights was Anderson's second film after 1996's little scene Hard 8. Speaking with GQ, DiCaprio said Boogie Nights is a movie he loved and wished he had done. He added that both Boogie Nights and Titanic are great movies. He would have loved to do them both. This next actor is good at passing on movie roles, but this time around, it ended up being a big miss for her. Michelle Pfeiffer in The Silence of the Lambs.
I'm 42.
I'm 32.
Really? You don't look it.
In the early 90s, Michelle Pfeiffer reportedly turned down a long list of massive roles, from Thelma and Louise and Pretty Woman to Basic Instinct and Sleepless in Seattle. While she said in 2017 that she had to turn down Thelma and Louise due to a scheduling conflict, she admitted she still can't watch it as she finds it killing. She admitted to regretting turning down The Silence of the Lambs, as it meant she didn't get to work with the late filmmaker Jonathan Demme more than once. Pfeiffer, who confessed to evil in that movie, said that she found it uncomfortable and couldn't put out to the world that evil won in the end. However, Jodie Foster, who took up the role later, ended up winning an Oscar for the role. And finally, Bruce Willis in Ghost.
Number 10. Bruce Willis, Ghost.
I hope it wasn't a masterpiece.
Not now. Ghost, starring Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, was the highest.
According to reports, Willis and Demi Moore were a couple at the time they were both sent the script for the romantic drama Ghost in 1989, but only one of them ended up doing it. While Moore starred alongside Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg in the film, which became the highest grossing film of 1990, Willis reportedly found the whole concept confusing. The idea of a dead man attempting to help his grieving girlfriend move on while simultaneously solving his own murder does not appeal to him, which made him pass on the role. Willis told the New York Times in 1996 that he didn't just get it, and just to punctuate his regrets, the die-hard star dubbed himself a knucklehead for passing up the role. And that's the wrap on actors who turned down legendary roles and regretted it. Which actor were you surprised to see on the list? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button if you enjoyed the ride, and subscribe for more wild luxury stories from the world of sports and celebrity. Until next time, bye for now.